Hey, welcome to another episode of Adventures in Glass with Doug. I hope you're enjoying the videos and that you'll take a chance to go back and look at some that you missed. What we do here is I take thrifted glass, all shapes and sizes, and create some glass art. What we make really depends on what we find. Everything from fountains and bird baths to hanging pieces to tabletop totems, just lots of crazy things, but they're decorative, they're fun, and use your imagination, give it a try. It's really only two ingredients: the thrifted glass that you find, which usually you want to have maybe 3 to 5 pieces that will create your totem or your sculpture, and then the adhesive. And I use and recommend 100% silicone caulk. You can use other things like epoxy. There are some clear epoxies, but I find this to be very flexible to use, easy. If I have to change up a piece, if I have to remove something because it broke or make a repair, it's easy enough to clean it off and start over again. Okay, I've had a couple of interesting pieces in my collection that I've tried to figure out what to do with, and I think I finally put all the pieces together this time. It's going to be a little unusual and in a way kind of simple, but I think it'll really turn out kind of neat. I've had this piece, and I think this is probably the third, I guess it's like a compote, a fruit bowl of sorts, that I really think is neat. I've done a couple of pieces of those before. One of the nice things about it is it does have a rectangle or a square base, and that usually is good if you happen to have another piece that is also square that you want to match up with it. As with all of these kinds of pieces, it's not entirely flat, stable when you turn it upside down. So when I'm done with this, and if it's on a solid surface and I'm worried about the wobble, I might have to take a little silicone disc or something underneath one of the feet, or a little piece of felt, just to keep it from wobbling. But actually today I can put one of my cloths underneath. Actually, I'm going to use the turntable in a second, so we'll do that. I just this week found this piece in the thrift store, which is kind of neat. It has what I hope will hold up in terms of a color wash on it that kind of is iridescent. It's possible that might not hold up in the sun over the course of the summer or something, but for now it looks pretty cool. And you may be familiar with smaller versions of these. I couldn't believe when I found this glass float. As you may know, they have been used as Japanese fishing floats, and you're not going to get these to be perfect. They were blown for a useful purpose, and that was to float and hold up fishing nets. And so they've been through the wear and tear of, I guess, the Pacific Ocean, and they're going to have bubbles and things in them. They're not going to be entirely clear, but that's the fun of this. So I've cleaned each of these pieces up, and we're going to build something really unique with these in just a moment. I see I've missed a couple of spots here that need to be cleaned, and then we'll be right back. Let's start with our base, if it'll sit on my turntable, just barely. Okay, we're going to put this jar on top of that. And it's always helpful to kind of do a dry fit on these, just to see how they're going to go together and where you need to put your caulk. So I'm going to put a rim of silicone caulk here and set that in place. By now you know the drill. Take the caulk, run it around. Well, we've got this jar fastened to the base. Used the turntable to make sure we could see from all sides that it sat centered up. I checked to make sure I had a good rim of silicone on there. And the next step is going to be a little tricky. We're going to take the float, which is not entirely even, and try and find a good position for this, because I can see, well, actually that's not too bad. There were a couple little gaps in there, but I think if I can get that to stay put that way, we'll be okay. What I don't want is air gaps that will let moisture in. I might be a little generous with this just to help me seal the gap. Now, if you've watched my channel and you've seen some of my videos, you know that this is kind of unusual for me. My first inclination would have been to put some lights inside this. Obviously, I can't put any lights in the globe. That's sealed off. But I don't think I want to try any of that, because I think it's just cool all by itself. It's fairly simple. It doesn't have a spire or anything, but I like it just the way it is, and I think it's sort of reminiscent of a gazing ball to a certain extent. So we'll let that dry, but I think that makes a simple statement. So thanks for watching, and thanks for coming back and checking out all my videos. Be sure to subscribe so you find out when I post a new one. And tell your friends about it. Try your hand at some of this yourself. You really can't do anything wrong. And if you need help with supplies like silicone, if you can't find it anywhere, or you're looking for some of the solar light kits that I talk about, or any of that, look in the description below, and I have a whole list of sources for you. But that's it for today.